One day, a little boy complained, "My life is like a heavy joke, so boring." However, when Claire touched Henry's cheek, it felt like petting her childhood teddy bear. "Can we pretend for a moment? This is our first meeting, and I've been crushing on you forever," he teased. As time flew by, their love skyrocketed, and Henry boldly invited Claire over. That night was destined to be a warm, romantic feast. He wanted to propose and pulled out the ring hidden in his bathroom. But with his time traveler label, he hesitated. What if he couldn't bring her happiness? Yet he couldn't bear to miss this heart-stopping moment, gently slipping the ring onto her finger, thinking, "What the heck, let's give it a shot." Claire stared at the ring, and as if transported back to childhood, she asked, "Are we getting married?" "But I'm not ready for that yet." "Of course, silly," he responded with a chuckle. Henry wanted to share his happiness with his late mother, so he time-traveled onto a train. And he found himself sitting next to someone so familiar it felt like riding a roller coaster. At that moment, he had tears in his eyes and blurted out, "I love you, I mean you," saying, "Thank you, I truly do appreciate it. People generally forget me. I'm Henry, and funny enough, my son is also Henry, but he's only 3. I met a girl, and every time I'm with her I feel safe. I hope she can hear you sing." "Perhaps she might. I'm truly delighted to have met you. You're such a sweetheart. Heaven gave you the ability to time travel, but can't change the outcomes." She had to watch her mother fade away. The bittersweet feeling was truly tough. Finally, the big day arrived. Claire was all dressed up, ready to marry her one true love. But of course trouble struck. Just as the wedding was about to begin, Henry unexpectedly time-traveled again. Oh shit, the friends panicked and had to stall for time. Suddenly, older Henry popped back in, impatiently asking, "What are you doing back here?" "Don't panic." Finally things turned around. Claire quickly donned her dress and didn't miss the moment. However, when she turned around, Claire immediately noticed something was off but didn't mind. As usual, she remained that very familiar. In front of the priest, they finally exchanged sweet vows, but at dinner, Henry magically disappeared again. Just when she thought he would be missing, young Henry suddenly time-traveled back at the last minute. After all the twists and turns, they finally stepped into the marriage hall and began their happy life together. They would snuggle on the couch reading books and cook delicious dinners together, but suddenly Henry vanished like a magician. Claire was left to tackle the little messes alone, enjoying a candle-lit dinner by herself. Clothes she bought went and tried, and even after their wedding, she often had to deal with everything solo. Though she knew Henry spent most of his time with his younger self, this time he vanished for 2 whole weeks. He also missed out on what should have been a cozy Christmas and New Year, which was a huge blow for Claire. "Can we talk?" she asked helplessly. "What do you want to say? Do you want me to wait here for you?" Henry was already waiting for her at the corner when Claire got off work. She knew it wasn't his fault. To ease his wife's hard work, Henry handed her a lottery ticket. "We need to hit the jackpot." And they actually won the grand prize. Henry was so excited he could hardly speak. With their winnings, they bought a mansion, and their lives instantly hit the peak. Just as everyone was gearing up to celebrate, they heard a crash coming from another room. When they rushed in, they found future Henry injured. Before they could react, he vanished. They were stunned, their faces frozen in shock. Claire recalled the younger Henry from 40 years back. "Congratulations, you're having a baby." Henry was thrilled. Even though his future self would vanish, at least there would be a child. To be with his wife and child longer, he sought a genetic expert to study time travel secrets. The doctor just arranged for simple tests but discovered some underlying issues. Henry mysteriously vanished without a trace, which was quite baffling. Chris suddenly felt a tearing pain in her stomach, looking incredulous. By the time Henry got to the hospital, the baby was already gone. After losing their first child, it was heartbreaking, and soon after, they lost a second one. In despair, They sought help from the doctor again, suspecting that Henry's genes were causing the time travel problems. However, when they left the hospital, they noticed a girl watching them from a distance. For the sake of Claire's health, Henry suggested adopting a child, but Claire refused. She wanted to be a mother because she loved Henry. If you like this story, please subscribe so we can share more laughs together.